Insidious is the only haunted house movie where moving out doesn't help, because it's not the house that's haunted, it's the kid. It's that one idea that is the reason why Insidious has stuck with so many people, and why best of haunted house lists and haunting lists in general don't usually land the same way. Insidious is truly experiencing a moment right now, so if you've seen the most recent one or you're just getting into the franchise and you find yourself craving more, here are 10 movies that might scratch that itch. Some of these are bangers that you've probably already heard of, and some of them might be a little more obscure to you. And make sure you stay till the end because the last one isn't quite like the rest. We'll start with Dead Silence from 2007. A man's wife is murdered right after a ventriloquist dummy shows up at their apartment. So he takes the body home to a dying little town called Raven's Fair and starts pulling on the legend of Mary Shaw, a performer who was buried with 101 dolls. The rule is that if you see her, you don't scream, and if you do, she takes your tongue. It's got a named entity, a folk rhyme, and rules you can break, which is the exact machinery that Insidious runs on. And this one matters because the same two guys made Insidious 3 years later, so you're basically watching them build the toolkit in real time. It's free with ads on Bloodstream. Then go back to 1984, The Changeling. A man loses his wife and daughter in a car accident and rents an enormous Seattle mansion that turns out to have a tenant already. Basically a child who drowned in the bathtub upstairs. There's a seance in the middle of the movie with a medium at the table and a tape recorder running that I'd argue is the direct ancestor of every Elise Rayner sequence in the entire franchise. It's free on Tubi, Pluto, Plex, and the Roku channel, so you really have no excuse. White Noise, the 2005 one, is the movie everyone loves to dunk on, and I think they're being unfair. An architect loses his wife and goes hunting for her voice inside electronic voice phenomena, so he's combing through static and dead air and tape hiss looking for one syllable of her. Then he finds out that when you open a door like that, you don't get to choose what walks back through it. That to me is the entire thesis of Insidious stated out loud, years early. It's on Prime Video. Also from 2005 and out of Japan, we've got Noroi, The Curse. A paranormal documentarian investigates a handful of cases that don't appear to be connected, and then he disappears, and what you're left watching is the footage he left behind. It runs almost 2 hours, and it does not care about your attention span, but by the end it has built a complete cosmology with rules and a named demon, plus a psychic who wraps himself in tinfoil to keep things out of his head. It's free on Tubi and Plex, and it's on Shudder, but honestly, this is one you want on disc. The Orphanage came out of Spain in 2007. A woman brings her family back to the orphanage where she grew up. Her son starts talking to invisible friends, and then during a party, her son is simply gone. Months later, she brings in a medium wired up with sensors and turns her loose to walk the building. If you've ever wanted the Elise setup done with real weight behind it, that's the scene, and the ending is going to sit on your chest for a week. You can rent it digitally or stream it free on Canopy with a library card. Sinister is the one big household name on this list, and it absolutely earns the spot. A true crime writer moves his family into the house where the last family was murdered, which is a choice, and he finds a box of Super 8 home movies waiting in the attic. Every reel has a family, and every reel has something standing just out of focus in the corner. The ghoul and the lipstick-faced demon are absolutely cousins, and I will die on that hill. Shockingly, that is free on Canopy. One of my all-time favorites, A Dark Song, came out of Ireland in 2016, and this is the one I'd hand to anybody who thinks that ritual magic is just candles and a spooky chant. A grieving mother rents an isolated house and hires an extremely unpleasant occultist to walk her through a months-long rite, loosely built on the famous Abermelin operation, so that she can speak to her murdered son. And the film treats the work as work. It's tedious and physical, it has rules, and when she breaks one, it costs her. It's on Shudder and AMC+, and I think right now it's free with ads on Tubi. Come True is basically The Further with a synthesizer. A teenage runaway signs up for a university sleep study because she needs the money, and the people running it are watching something on their monitors that they are absolutely not telling her about. You get sleeping bodies wired to machines, a shared dream architecture everybody seems to visit, and a shadow figure with glowing eyes standing very still at the end of some hallways. That one's free on Tubi, and it's on Shudder. The Night House puts a widow alone in the lake house her husband built for her before he died. She starts going through his things, and slowly she stops asking why he left and starts asking what he was building the house against. There's a trick in this movie with negative space where a figure gets assembled out of the gaps between the walls, and it just lands on that exact Insidious feeling of being in a still frame and not being quite sure of what you're looking at. It's currently on FX Now and a few live TV services. And finally, there's The Nightmare from 2015, which is a documentary about sleep paralysis. 8 people who have never met sit down and describe what happens when they wake up and can't move, and then those descriptions get staged with actors so that you have to look at it. Here's why it closes this list. Sleep paralysis is the real-world thing that Insidious is built on top of. The frozen body, the crushing weight, the presence at the foot of the bed, the mouth that won't work when you try to scream. Insidious took that and gave it a mythology and an exit. This movie really gives you the same room with no door out, and I have to be honest with you, it wrecked me worse than any of the 9 films I just recommended. It's free on Tubi and it's on Shudder. You might notice that a lot of these films share a common core. Someone loses someone that they love, and they can't accept that or try to fight for them, so they open a door they can't close. That's why Insidious works, and that's why the Nightmare documentary hits so hard, because those people didn't open any door, it just showed up. So if you haven't seen any of these flicks, please check them out and let me know what you think and which one got you. Comment into the further on this video and I will send you the free Horror Lovers Killers Kit. Don't forget to make it weird.